Did you ever wonder why some people carry peace while wealth flows to them without strain? Why do others toil endlessly yet feel stuck, while a few simply walk into rooms and favor wraps around them like a garment? Let me show you the truth. The world teaches hustle. I teach rest. The world pushes stress. I provide strategy. The world demands pressure. I pour out peace. You've been taught that to receive overflow, you must exhaust yourself. But I say to you now, my way is rest-fueled, spirit-led, and stress-free. Pause here. You're about to hear what most never will. I'm revealing something to you that many miss because they are moving too fast to listen. Take a moment. Still your mind. Tell the distractions to wait. This is sacred. If you stay through the end of this word, you'll receive not just revelation, but impartation. Real results begin where striving ends. This is not a secret. This is scripture. Say it now. No more striving. I receive supernatural supply. What I'm about to release to you is not theory. It's testimony. It's blueprint. It's divine protocol for wealth without the warfare of burnout. You were never meant to chase money. Money was meant to follow the mission. You were never designed to labor under anxious toil. The kingdom model was never stress-based. It was always grace-built. Psalm 127:2 declares it clearly. In vain, you rise early and stay up late, toiling for food to eat, for he grants sleep to those he loves. I give my beloved rest, and within that rest comes resources. Rest is not inactivity. It is divine alignment. Rest is not laziness. It is radical trust. I showed you the blueprint because you dared to ask boldly. You didn't want just wealth. You asked for wealth with wisdom. You wanted stewardship, not showmanship. You desired legacy, not just luxury. And that's why I'm entrusting you with ideas, strategies, divine blueprints that others call impossible. You've tapped into something greater than grind. You've tapped into grace. Louder now. I choose grace over grind. The first step is this. Detach your worth from what you earn. You are not your net worth. You are not your job title. You are not your follower count. You are mine. And I clothe my children with righteousness before I cover them with riches. You've been trying to earn what I already appointed. You've been trying to prove what I've already approved. Receive it now. Peace, provision, power. Genesis 13:2 speaks of Abraham. Abram had become very wealthy in livestock and in silver and gold. But don't miss the context. Abraham didn't become wealthy by striving. He became wealthy by saying yes to my voice. He walked where I said walk. He trusted when it made no sense. He left what was comfortable to step into what was covenant. I am calling you to do the same. I am calling you out of the old belief that wealth must equal worry. I am canceling the lie that favor must feel forced. I am opening doors that match your obedience, not your effort. I see how you've honored me when you had little. Now watch me honor you with more than enough. Type this now. Overflow is not a reward. It is my portion. The reason some can't handle overflow is because they skipped intimacy. You, however, have been in the secret place. You've been in prayer. You've been worshiping when no one saw. You've been faithful when no one applauded. And now, the reward is weighty. Because your foundation is firm. You will not be destroyed by abundance. You will distribute it. Your table is being enlarged. Your influence is being extended. You are not being promoted for popularity. You are being positioned for purpose. You are not just receiving, you are being trusted. I will use your life as a testimony of divine provision that flows without pressure. Declare boldly, provision without pressure is my inheritance. And now pause again. If this word has hit your spirit with fire, let me ask you, don't just listen in silence. Respond in faith. Like this message as a divine act of agreement. Let heaven know your spirit is aligned. And if you feel the fire to take it further, if you want to be part of spreading this kind of spirit-led word to millions, then take a step of bold generosity. Support our ministry with super thanks of $111 to support the ministry. It takes a dedicated team, prayer warriors, editors, creatives, and hours of consecration to create and release these divine messages. When you sow, you don't just give, you multiply the voice of God through media. If you feel led, do it boldly. Now are you ready to receive more because I'm just getting started? The stress-free strategy continues, with details most ignore, and divine secrets for unlocking favor in the hidden places. You've been conditioned by a world that glorifies burnout, but I am the God who models balance. You've been told to work endlessly until your soul is dry, but I call you into a rhythm of abundance where rest is holy, and trust is the foundation of every transaction. My child, I have not called you into a lifestyle of collapse. I've called you into cycles of creativity, grace, wisdom, and holy fruitfulness. Some of you have been feeling stuck, not because you lack ambition, but because you've been operating with the wrong architecture. You've built calendars with chaos. You've said yes to things I never assigned. You've tried to carry weights I never put on your shoulders. That's why the pressure keeps building, not because I'm not present, but because you're holding blueprints I never authored. Jeremiah 29:11 is more than a verse for comfort. It's a divine strategy. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, to give you a future and a hope. My plans are not vague. They're not random. They are precise. And when you lean into my voice more than into your checklist, clarity begins to overflow. This is how stress begins to melt, when you replace panic with my presence. Say this loud. I surrender my plan for God's pattern. You've seen people get ahead quickly only to burn out quietly. That won't be your story. You will last. You will grow roots, while others chase hype. You will build systems of grace, not factories of exhaustion. I'm teaching you to scale without stress, to earn without emptiness, to rise without restlessness. Because I'm the one lifting you, and I don't need your hustle. I need your heart. Let me give you wisdom from Genesis. Joseph was elevated because of his interpretation gift, but sustained because of his stewardship. Pharaoh didn't promote Joseph because he was flashy. He promoted him because he could manage abundance without arrogance. Genesis 41:39-40. Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, Since God has made all this known to you, you shall be in charge of my palace. Notice, it was revelation, not resume, that moved Joseph. You've got ideas I gave you while others were scrolling. You've got downloads I gave you in moments of worship. Those sketches, those outlines, those business names, those structures, those models you've jotted down. They're not random. They're revelation. And when you activate them with obedience, wealth flows without weight. Short and clear, My notes are divine downloads. Don't delay because of doubt. Stop disqualifying yourself because of past failures. I don't anoint the most impressive. I anoint the most surrendered. Your past cannot cancel your promise. Your weakness does not scare me. I'm still the God who turns water into wine, the ordinary into overflow, the unskilled into unstoppable. This is your hour of transformation. All I need is your yes. And here's the divine mystery. I don't bless just what you do. I bless who you are becoming. So don't just chase the business. Become the vessel. Don't just run after results. Cultivate the roots. The deeper you go with me, the higher I can raise you. You cannot outdream the vision I've hidden in your spirit. Now hear this. Some of you are asking, how do I know it's God's wealth? You know by the fruit. God's wealth carries peace, not panic. It multiplies joy, not just numbers. It causes others to be lifted, not crushed. It births testimony, not torment. Proverbs 10:22 declares, "The blessing of the Lord brings wealth without painful toil for it." That's what I'm doing with you. The kind of wealth that doesn't cause you to lose your peace, your prayer life, or your purity. Call it out pain-free provision, heaven-backed increase. I am assigning angels to your next moves. Watch how strange alignments begin to occur. People will find you. Opportunities will search for your obedience. Doors you never knocked on will swing wide. But it won't be random. It will be divinely orchestrated because you moved from striving to sowing, from exhaustion to excellence, from chaos to covenant. You've cried for clarity. Here it is. Simplify your structure. Listen in the silence. Return to the altar. Write what I say. Build what I show you. And walk where I point you. As you do, the stress will dissolve. The anxiety will break. The urgency of heaven will become the only force that moves you. And if your spirit is burning with this word, then I ask you again, like this message as an act of faith. When you engage, you come into agreement. You're not just watching, you're entering in. Don't sit this one out. Declare it boldly. Live it fully. Stay with me. The next part will pour out secrets from my storehouses, examples you've never heard, and wisdom for impact that lasts generations. I am not just showing you how to receive wealth, I am training you to carry it without cracking. You see others collapse under the very thing they once prayed for. But I'm forming you differently. I am building a container for continual overflow. And that container begins in your soul, not in your savings. You must prosper inside before your environment shifts outside. 3 John 1:2 is your confirmation. Beloved, I pray that you may prosper in all things and be in health, just as your soul prospers. Prosperity begins in your perspective. If your mindset is shackled by fear, greed, or performance, you will mismanage even the most divine opportunities. But when your soul prospers, peace becomes your platform. Wealth follows peace. Say it now. My soul is safe. My mindset is renewed. I am ready. Here is a holy truth. I am not hiding wealth from you. I am hiding it for you. In the quiet place. In the divine instructions, in the strategies birthed in stillness. You don't need to mimic the world's model. You don't need to exhaust your body just to get seen. When you walk in alignment with me, I highlight what others overlook. I illuminate hidden doors. I anoint silent rooms. I unlock revenue through revelation. The wealth I release begins with a whisper, not a shout. It starts in the secret, not on the stage. That's why I've been drawing you away from distractions. That's why you've felt the urgency to simplify. Because what I'm about to deposit in your spirit requires space. Your clarity is connected to your consecration. Say this aloud. I clear space for divine deposits. I will show you how to partner your skill with my spirit. Your hands will not labor in vain. The creativity I've placed inside you will convert to currency, not from striving, but from stewardship. When you show up consistently, faithfully, and quietly, I increase what you carry, just like I did with the widow in 2 Kings 4. She didn't need outside funding. She needed obedience. The prophet told her, "Go, gather vessels and shut the door behind you." When she obeyed, the oil kept flowing. Do you see it? Flow follows obedience. Not connections, not algorithms, not gimmicks, but radical, clear, often inconvenient obedience. Let it settle. Flow follows obedience. There is oil in your idea. There is wealth in what looks small. There is provision in what you've called ordinary. I am the God who multiplies lunchboxes into banquets, widow jars into business models, fishermen into apostles. And I am doing it again, through you. But hear this warning in love. You must not rush what I am building slowly. My process is perfect. Quick growth without root system will sabotage your calling. But slow obedience with steady soil will outlast every trend. You're not behind. You are being prepared. I am syncing your timeline with my divine release. And when it comes, it will not delay. Habakkuk 2:3 backs this. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. My timing is accurate. Your harvest is scheduled. Stay aligned, stay grateful, stay building. Whisper it boldly. My harvest is scheduled. I will not be late. I will send people who don't just bless you but build with you. Divine collaborations are coming. Strategic partnerships, faith-filled investors, people who carry heaven's heartbeat. You will not walk alone into this wealth. I'm surrounding you with warriors, intercessors, and dreamers who get it. And when you come together, the anointing will multiply. Ecclesiastes 4:9-10 tells the truth. Two are better than one. If either of them falls, one can help the other up. You are not called to compete. You are called to complete. And I am forming kingdom circles that carry capacity and compassion. Prepare your heart. Your team is on the way. Right now, speak this aloud. My circle will be sanctified. My collaborations will be kingdom. As you hear these truths, let your heart respond. Like this video, not because of routine, but as an act of recognition. When you say yes in your spirit, let your actions follow. Agreement opens atmospheres, and I'm moving here. My voice is stirring your destiny awake. Keep receiving. Don't step away now. The next release is personal. Instructions for territory, legacy, and how to carry more without feeling less. You've been taught to chase income, but I came to give you inheritance. You've been trained to strive for survival, but I came to release surplus. I'm not only giving you enough to pay bills, I'm giving you blueprints to fund kingdom movements. The wealth I give isn't just for your hands, it's for generations. That's why I've been slowing you down, refining your motives, and stretching your spirit. Because what you are carrying isn't small, it's eternal. Deuteronomy 8:18 affirms it. But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth, not just money, but wealth, wisdom, ideas, land, intellectual property, strategies that shape industries, songs that heal nations, books that open eyes, brands that bless lives. You've limited yourself to streams, but I'm releasing rivers. Say it clearly. I am a river carrier. I will flood this generation with God's provision. You're not being set up for stress, you're being positioned for supernatural streams. This is why I've been talking to you differently, because you don't need another pep talk. You need prophecy. You don't need hustle tricks, you need heaven's truth. The shift I'm bringing to your life cannot be taught by algorithms. It's downloaded by alignment. You will look up and see doors open where there were walls. You will see your name being spoken in places you never entered. You'll see assignments land in your inbox not because of your networking, but because of my nudging. I send favor to those who steward faithfully in the unseen. Now breathe. Let your shoulders drop. Let the pressure leave. You are not late. You are not lazy. You are not left behind. You are in formation. I'm building a house in you that doesn't crack under culture's demands. I'm forming a vessel that can carry revelation without losing rest. You will operate in overflow, but never lose your peace. Say this now. I will overflow, but I will not overflow into burnout. This is wealth without stress, overflow without overthinking, favor without faking. You will be authentic and anointed. You will lead without begging. You will create without compromising. You will launch without losing yourself. I am healing the part of you that thought you had to overperform to be provided for. Exodus 16 reminds you that when the manna fell, I told my people not to gather too much. Why? Because I was teaching them daily dependency. I'm teaching you the same. You won't need to hoard. You won't need to hustle harder. You'll trust me and I'll provide in divine rhythm. No gaps, no delays, no burnout. Let that settle. I live in the rhythm of divine provision. I'm even healing your view of time. Time will not be your enemy. Time is your ally. You will stop saying I'm behind. You will begin to declare, I'm right on time. The enemy has tried to shame you with delay. But I'm showing you that what seemed like a detour was actually divine setup. And now, because your heart has received this word and your faith has risen, I invite you, not out of pressure, but out of prophetic obedience, to sow into the atmosphere that's been feeding you. If this message has unlocked you, consider giving a super thanks of $111 to support the ministry. It takes a faithful, Spirit-filled team to write, edit, design, produce, and pray over every word that reaches you. Your giving is not just support, it's kingdom partnership. If you feel stirred, obey quickly. Heaven backs prompt obedience. Let your faith not just listen, let it activate. Like this message as a prophetic marker that says, this is mine. Every engagement is a spiritual agreement. Every act of giving is a covenant move. You're not just consuming, you're carrying it forward. There's a rhythm in the Spirit I'm training you to walk in. Not a race, but a revelation. The world moves with speed, but the kingdom moves with sound. It starts with a word. That's how creation began. Not with motion, but with a word. I said, let there be light, and everything began to align. That's how I'll birth the next move through you, not through panic, but through prophetic instruction. When I give a word, everything must obey it. Resources, time, even the people assigned to you. So stop chasing outcomes. Start listening for utterance. One word from me will attract the provision, the help, the tools, and the timing. Psalm 33:9 declares, "For he spoke, and it came to be. He commanded, and it stood firm. When I speak, it stands." And I'm speaking now over your finances, over your creative flow, over your clarity, over your kingdom strategy. I declare, your next assignment will not crush you, it will crown you. Shout this in the spirit, my assignment will crown me, not crush me. You've been worried about being too much, too intense, too different, but that's what I called you to be, a kingdom disruptor. I didn't call you to blend in with trends. I called you to build what hasn't been seen. I didn't anoint you for approval. I anointed you for impact. That's why your journey has been heavy, because the oil is weighty. The cost you've paid in silence will return in visible blessing. You cried when no one knew. You gave when no one said thank you. You stayed pure when others sold their soul for applause. I saw it all. I recorded every tear, every silent yes, every obedient, "I don't understand, but I'll go." Now watch what I do in return. Psalm 126:5-6 is for you. Those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy. They will return with songs of joy, carrying sheaves with them. Yes, the joy is returning. The songs are returning. The harvest is coming in public because the faithfulness was in private. Speak this loud. My tears were never wasted. My harvest is undeniable. And let me say this to the entrepreneurs who feel like they've failed. You started the thing I showed you. You prayed over it. You fasted before launching it. But then life got messy. Sales dropped. Engagement flatlined, doors closed. You asked me, did I miss it? No, child. You didn't miss it. I was maturing you. You were being refined, not rejected. It wasn't failure. It was formation. Your next step will be smarter because of the pain. You now know how to lead from the spirit, not just analytics. You now know how to plan while holding the pen loosely. That's how kingdom builders are formed, not in applause, but in the altar. Call this out. Refined, resilient, recommissioned. The blueprint is still active. The promise is still alive. I haven't canceled your call because of a bad quarter. I don't revoke assignments. I rewrite timelines. And now that your heart is healed and your motives are pure, the speed will pick up. Not because you're rushing, but because you're ready. You'll see how my grace accelerates what used to take years. Because when I move, there's no red tape, just green light. I told you before and I say it again, this wealth will not bring stress. This influence will not dilute your intimacy. You will have overflow and rest, visibility and stability, promotion and peace. Because you're moving by my spirit, not the spirit of the age. Isaiah 48:17 proclaims, I am the Lord your God who teaches you what is best for you, who directs you in the way you should go. Let me lead, and you'll never be lost. Now pause, inhale deeply, and let this word seal into your bones. Like this video now as a prophetic seal. When you engage, heaven takes record. Your faith is not just personal, it is generational. What you touch now will echo in your lineage. I have not only called you to provision, I have appointed you to be a provider. There is a holy difference. Provision is when I take care of your needs. But when I call you to be a provider, I make you a well. One that doesn't run dry. One that others draw from. One that blesses cities. This is the dimension I'm calling you into now. From receiver to releaser. And this is where the overflow matters most. Not to show off, but to sow forward. You are blessed to build. You are chosen to channel resources into the broken places of this world. I did not raise you to chase things. I raised you to create legacies. Legacies that reflect my kingdom. Legacies that outlive your name. Genesis 12:2-3 declares the blueprint. I will bless you, and you will be a blessing, and all peoples on earth will be blessed through you. Do you hear it? Your blessing is not selfish. It's strategic. I am routing wealth through your life to release hope, healing, and honor across the land. Speak this now. I am a releaser of healing wealth. Let me show you something powerful. The reason I've been pressing your character is because where I'm taking you, your gifts won't be enough. Only integrity can sustain you in high places. Favor may open the door, but only faithfulness keeps you seated at the table. That's why your delays were never denials. They were divine drills. I was building your resilience in private so that public influence doesn't destroy you. I was stripping away false validation so that no applause would steal your allegiance. You've been in training for reigning. Declare this: my character will not cancel my calling. You will not just fund visions, you will birth movements. You will not just speak inspiration, you will steward transformation. You will not just grow businesses, you will create sanctuaries in the marketplace. I'm teaching you how to flow in favor without forfeiting your foundation. There will be people who don't understand your decisions. Let them go. You're not living for popular. You're living for prophetic. You're not dancing for the algorithm. You're moving by the altar. Your steps are not random. They are revelatory. Heaven has been keeping record of your stewardship, your patience, and your tears. And now, the shift is here. Psalm 65:11 confirms this. You crown the year with your bounty, and your carts overflow with abundance. You won't end this season empty. You will exit with evidence. The seed has grown in silence, and now the harvest is undeniable. Whisper it with power. The harvest is here. I will not shrink back. You are not just receiving money, you are receiving mandate to break cycles, to restore broken communities, to build God dreams into reality. And every act of obedience is creating ripple effects in eternity. That's why you must continue, even when it feels slow, even when you're misunderstood, even when you're unseen. Because the reward is not just what you gain. The reward is who you become. A pillar in my kingdom. A signpost for my glory. A trustworthy vessel. A lender, not a borrower. A safe place for others. A divine investor in destinies. And even now, as you hear this, I am marking your household. I am breathing on your blueprints. I am assigning angels to guard your strategy. You will not fumble this moment. You will walk in wisdom, grace, boldness, and divine timing. You were never called to just be a consumer in this culture. I have marked you to be a carrier of kingdom capacity. You were not saved just to survive. You were saved to shine. The reason I'm taking time to shape your heart is because the inheritance coming to you is not for one generation. It's for many. You are about to touch what your great-grandparents prayed for. You are about to build what others didn't have the courage to begin. Say it boldly. I'm building for generations I'll never meet. The wealth I release comes with wisdom. It does not confuse. It clarifies. It does not distract. It deepens. It does not make you arrogant. It humbles you to serve more powerfully. When you carry kingdom wealth, people don't just see your net worth, they feel my worth. They see my fingerprints in your excellence, your peace, your giving, your compassion. That's why I've tested your heart with hiddenness. You wondered why the spotlight avoided you. You wondered why doors opened slowly. But it was grace, not rejection. I was preserving you. So when I release visibility, you will not lose your vision. So when I pour out abundance, you won't abandon the altar. Write this on your spirit. Visibility will not erase my vision. Abundance will not corrupt my altar. Even now I am forming rooms you've never entered yet. Conversations are happening that include your name, and they're not based on popularity. They're based on purpose. I am placing you on the radar of leaders who need your voice. But I will not promote you to places where pressure will crush you. That's why my timing is different. I move at the speed of wholeness. Psalm 84:11 declares, "No good thing does he withhold from those who walk uprightly." You've been upright even when it wasn't easy. You've stayed faithful while others chased fame. You've guarded your heart while others sold theirs for gain. And now, because of your posture, I'm placing keys in your hand. Keys to wealth, keys to wisdom, keys to influence, keys to inner rest. Say it aloud. I carry keys. I open doors for others. Your journey is not random. Every delay was preparation. Every rejection was redirection. Every pause was a prophetic pause. I was editing your story so that your destiny would be uninterrupted. And now, we approach the birthing moment. What's been incubating is about to manifest. That idea you scribbled years ago, it's coming back stronger. That business concept you shelved, I'm reviving it with better structure. That ministry vision you buried in silence, I'm calling it out again with fresh fire. Because the world needs what you carry. This hour needs what I placed in you. You're not late. You're not lost. You're not lacking. You're aligned. Isaiah 60:22 sings it clearly. When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. And child, it is happening. Quietly at first, then suddenly, then fully, then fruitfully. And you will not just walk into rooms, you will reform them. You've asked me, Lord, why does the path feel so narrow? And I say to you now, because narrow paths lead to wide places. The path of obedience may feel confining, but it is the only road that leads to unshakable freedom. I'm protecting your path from distractions, counterfeit assignments, and decisions that would have drained your purpose. My narrow path is not punishment. It's precision. You don't need more noise, you need sharper navigation. That's why I'm simplifying your surroundings. That's why you've noticed the pruning of voices, of circles, even of business plans. I am focusing you, not forsaking you. I am refining the call, not removing the blessing. Because what I'm about to release over you requires clarity like never before. Say it now. I receive precision. I welcome pruning. I have not forgotten the visions I whispered to you on sleepless nights. the dreams that felt too big to utter out loud, the burdens you've carried in silence because you knew they were divine. I have seen the battle you fought between purpose and provision, between boldness and burnout, between faith and fatigue. And I'm answering now with a new wind. That new wind is called rested revelation. You will build, but not under stress. You will move, but not in haste. You will expand, but not without rest. Because I'm not only the Lord of the harvest, I am the Lord of holy rhythms. I created the Sabbath not to stop your success, but to ensure your success doesn't stop you. Mark 6:31 reminds you of my voice. Come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest. Rest isn't retreat, it's restoration. In rest, I renew your thinking. In rest, I sharpen your discernment. In rest, I unlock blueprints. Don't fear the quiet. It's where I download the next move. Call this out. Rest is my advantage, quiet is my strategy. Your peace is not optional, it's prophetic. When you operate from peace, you hear me clearly. When you walk in stillness, you move with power. The enemy wants you chaotic, because confusion clouds clarity. But I have called you to operate from the seat of trust, not anxiety, not panic, not comparison, trust. So breathe, release the worry, let go of the imagined deadlines. I am not in a hurry, but I am on time. I do not rush, but I never delay. You will not miss what I've marked for you. What I send, no one can block. What I build through you, no one can copy. Because your grace is custom-made. Your anointing is original. Declare it boldly. My calling cannot be copied. My grace cannot be duplicated. And let me speak this to your inner leader, the one who's been carrying more than you show. You have led faithfully. You've poured into others. You've managed responsibilities. But I'm now pouring into you. This part of your journey is not about doing more. It's about receiving more. Receiving wisdom. Receiving insight. Receiving financial clarity. Receiving what you used to chase. Because what's coming next is not just a project, it's a mantle. I am mantling you with leadership, clarity, and financial flow that makes stress unnecessary. Because I am training you to lead from overflow, not obligation. You are now stepping into the place where understanding and anointing merge. Where you no longer doubt if you're called, you know you are. Where you no longer ask if you're worthy, you trust that I've made you worthy. Where you no longer fear provision, you expect overflow. This is the divine confidence of a kingdom son, a kingdom daughter, one who walks with me in power, not panic. Do you know what makes my chosen stand out? Not charisma, not connections, but consecration. The consecrated are those who stay with me when others chase quick fixes. You have consecrated your time. You have fasted when no one saw. You have tithed in faith. You have served even when it hurt. You have stewarded without spotlight. And I say to you, nothing is wasted. Genesis 15:1 was my promise to Abram, and it is now my whisper to you. Do not be afraid. I am your shield, your very great reward. I am your reward, not just what I give, but who I am. And when you have me, you have everything. Shout this. Jesus is my reward, and nothing I gave was wasted. Even now, angels are being dispatched for divine arrangement. Delayed approvals will be suddenly signed. Hidden favor will become visible. Clients who ignored will now respond. Proposals will land where hearts are softened. I am accelerating what man tried to slow down. I am oiling the gears of every stalled system in your life. Not because of pressure, but because of promise. I am a promise keeper. Not one word I have spoken over your life will return void. Not one vision you carried in the night was random. I allowed you to dream it because I intend to fulfill it, and not just for you, but through you. Because when you prosper, others will witness my goodness. When you rise, others will remember their calling. When you build, others will pick up their blueprints. Your yes becomes a ripple. Your obedience is revival. That's why I had to speak this word to you now, because your season has arrived. Say it with bold faith, my obedience is revival. My harvest is now. You don't need to explain what I'm doing. Just receive it. You don't need to convince others to celebrate. Just keep walking. You are not building for applause. You are building by assignment. And what's ahead of you cannot be sabotaged if you remain submitted. The enemy tried to wear you down before this moment, but he failed. You didn't give up. You didn't go back. And now, because you stayed aligned, I am going beyond your expectation. You were praying for survival. I'm delivering overflow. You asked for peace. I'm giving provision with peace. You dreamed of just making it. But I've called you to multiply. Hold fast, stay present. We are almost at the final anointing. You've been faithful with little. Now watch what I do with your yes. Because the shift you're sensing, it's not a coincidence. It's a kingdom call. I am bringing you to the forefront, not because you chased influence, but because you chased me. And now, as you've humbled yourself under my hand, I am lifting you in due time, not to be seen, but to shine my light in places that were growing dark. You thought your assignment was small, but the impact is eternal. You thought you were just paying bills, but you've been building bridges to generational deliverance. You thought the product, the idea, the song, the book, the ministry was slow, but I was stretching your capacity for global flow. Say it clearly. God's scale, not man's timeline. There is a crown of stewardship resting on you now. I have seen how you handled the dry seasons without grumbling. I've watched how you navigated uncertainty, still praising. I saw you check your bank account and still tithe, still give, still sow in faith. I watched when no one clapped, and you still kept clapping for others. That's kingdom. That's maturity. That's why I'm multiplying what's in your hand. Psalm 92:12-13 says, "The righteous will flourish like a palm tree. They will still bear fruit in old age. They will stay fresh and green. You will not wither. You will not waste away in stress. You will flourish with supernatural supply. You will be fresh when others feel fatigued. Because your source is not the economy. Your source is eternity. Boldly speak it. Fresh, favored, flourishing. I'm lifting pressure off your chest. I'm clearing fog from your mind. I'm renewing your vision, not just for income, but for impact. What you build from this moment will breathe with divine breath. Clients will feel the difference. Partners will sense the purity. Your name will rise in rooms not from branding, but from obedience. Because when I highlight your name, no man can dim it. When I speak over your idea, no system can suffocate it. When I declare you ready, the world has to receive you. You won't have to fight for a seat. You'll be seated at tables prepared by heaven. And in those moments, don't forget this word. I am the one who brought you there. Call this out. I move by grace. I live by faith. I prosper by divine design. You are a kingdom multiplier. You don't just survive stress, you silence it. You don't chase lack, you change legacies. And because you've chosen to trust me in the quiet, I'm about to move you into the places that echo my goodness with thunder. This is the moment where the word I've been planting in you is no longer just seed. It becomes sight. You are no longer just hearing about promise. You are stepping into it. What you've carried in prayer, protected in silence, and watered with obedience, is now bursting through the soil. This is harvest. This is breakthrough. This is rest without lack. This is wealth without stress. I told you at the start I would show you how, and now I have. The keys were never hidden in the world system. They were tucked inside my spirit's whisper. You've listened. You've received. And now you're commissioned. The next time you sit down to plan, do it with peace. The next time you look at your bank account, speak vision over it. The next time you get discouraged, remember that I don't operate on the world's calendar. I move by covenant, and my covenant with you is unshakable. Isaiah 55:11 seals this. So is my word that goes out from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it. You are walking in the fulfillment of spoken purpose. My voice over your life has weight. It will not fall to the ground. And when I say overflow, I mean it. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Speak it with finality. Overflow is my portion. Rest is my foundation. Jesus is my provider. You don't need to hustle for what I've already handed you. Your role is to steward it with joy, steward it with faith, steward it with fire. That's how you multiply the talents I've placed in your hands, not by fear, but by fire, not by comparison, but by conviction. The world needs what I gave you. Don't withhold it. And now I'm assigning angels not just to protect your path, but to accelerate it. I'm stirring up favor in the hearts of those who hold your next opportunity. I'm breathing on your name in conversations you haven't even been invited to yet. You will walk into places where you feel the weight of my presence before you speak a word. And when you speak, they will know. This one walks with God. The stress that used to accompany new seasons, it's broken. The fear that used to whisper at night, silenced. The heaviness of thinking you had to do it all alone, lifted. You've got help, both in heaven and on earth. You are divinely backed, divinely positioned, divinely appointed. Now take this final word to heart. As we continue creating and sharing these messages, understand, it takes a united team, sacred energy, and deep spiritual focus to do this work with excellence. If this message has poured into you, and you feel led, I invite you to support our ministry with super thanks of $111 to support the ministry. Every offering goes into strengthening the mission, reaching more souls, and expanding the echo of God's voice across this land. If you've received something life-giving from this word, like this video now as a divine witness, let your engagement declare, this word was mine. And as Jesus has freely given to you, share it with at least 5 others who may be praying for confirmation, encouragement, or divine alignment. That's how we multiply the blessing. Lastly, I invite you into a deeper connection. Join God's Messenger, our sacred membership for those who are called to partner with this voice. If this word struck your spirit, if it felt like it was written just for you, it was. You are not alone. You are part of a rising company of kingdom builders walking in peace, purpose, and prosperity. You were never meant to carry stress, only strategy. Never meant to wrestle with wealth, only to walk with wisdom. You are chosen. You are anointed. And the blueprint has been handed to you. Now rise and build.